Let's go.
What do you do with yours? I do unlimited football content.
Well, I do unlimited bragging.
Well, I do unlimited swiping right.
Well, I do unlimited doom scrolling.
Well, I do unlimited sliding into the DMs.
Well, I do watching TikTok on the bus without headphones unlimited.
Oh, God.
Yes, everyone, you heard that right. We've teamed up with Rocket Mobile for the mobile phone plan for football fans in the UK. Unlimited calls, unlimited text, unlimited data plus 20 gigabytes of roaming data to use in the EU for just £16 a month. Scan that QR code below. There's perks, content and other prizes that come through when you sign up. So make sure to either hit the link in the description afterwards or in the live chat or scan the QR code just down here on my left, I guess. Apart from that, my name is Dylan. I'm your host today, and there has been, obviously, a big day of news. Ruben Amorim has been sacked by Manchester United after what was a ridiculous few weeks behind the scenes. So today, join with me on my right-hand side, on a Monday, as usual, it's Laurie. How are you feeling, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
How's your
check out the
weekend?
video that myself and Cecil did on LL Sports TV, a bit of a plug for my channel, where we discussed this.
Yeah?
The news, which was surprising, but then not so surprising. But yeah, that's all I'll say for now.
Yeah, and then on my left-hand side as well, I believe it might be his Live at 5 debut. It's Cecil. How are you feeling, my friend?
I'm very good. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. It's a very happy New Year if you're an Arsenal fan. Let me tell you that for free. Things are good. It's been an amazing weekend. I'm happy. Big up Rocket Mobile as well. Actually, I've actually transferred over to them as well. You get to keep your number as well. So big up Rocket Mobile, and it's cheap as chips. And
Yeah, I'm going to sign up for that.
It's
Yeah,
a
man.
crazy
I
deal.
have to-
Unlimited everything, £16 a month. And
Mate.
also don't have to pay when you go to Europe.
be silly not to do it. So I've jumped
I'm
on board.
100% signing up.
But yeah, everything's good, man. I had a good festive period. I had a good New Year period. And Arsenal are looking very good. Man
You
United.
are, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm enjoying my
Oh,
life.
it's annoying.
I'm enjoying my life. Things
Don't
are
like
things are lovely. And other
what?
teams around us off.
Yeah?
Guess what? We ended the year on top of the table, and we start the year on top of the table. So
What
Well,
a
yeah, because
lovely-
you know they're one day apart, right?
What a lovely, lovely
Facts.
feeling it is.
facts.
Wait, but I can't lie. Chelsea have done you a favour. Enzo Fernandez, Arsenal player, clearly. I saw that. I don't know if you've seen the edit they did for the weekend roundup where Enzo Fernandez put in an Arsenal shirt and everything.
Oh,
It's
actually, no, I did
really
see that.
funny.
I did see that.
It's very funny.
It's good. It's good. I mean,
Listen,
yeah. I mean,
we're
he's
grateful for it. I don't know how Cecil feels about it, but I'll be honest with you, mate. Regardless of that,
No, I don't really. I'm not a big fan of Enzo, but is that
no,
what
but
you're gonna say?
regardless
Go
of that, we're grateful, but we don't need that. Trust me, I'm telling you.
No, to be fair to Laurie, he's been saying from day one he's never scared of City.
No.
Don't care. Focus on Arsenal and you'll be
But
fine.
we'll take it. But I wasn't one of those that was begging for Chelsea to get a result because my thought process.
Yeah,
when it
man.
comes to
Oh,
this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Baby
So does
shark,
Cecil.
do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby sharks. You know what I mean? Things are good. Forget City, man. Arsenal, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I'm confident. I'm happy, man. It's a good time.
Question
as an
for
Arsenal
you
fan.
though.
Yeah, go on.
You love to throw the word bottle it around. Our City bottling it. 2 games in a row now. where
Yes,
they-
big
where
time.
They played,
Yeah,
where they
yeah,
played
yeah.
after us.
Yeah.
And the pressure's been on them, and they've.
Well, it's not
Come
just
on
that.
down.
It's City. They've scored one goal in those 2 games
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
Haaland's been stinking it up the gaff for City recently.
Yeah.
The last couple of weeks, I've been captaining him on FPL and everything, and giving me absolutely nothing. He's not turning up this time when they need him to turn up. When they're chasing this time, it's clearly not happening.
Come on, then. Let's do this then. I see Monroe in the chat. Big up Monroe says January t-shirts. That's what's not gonna happen. But for you as a Man United fan,
Yeah.
you want us to win it
What, over City?
and Liverpool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good.
I do, but I might not turn up for a week once you do.
I mean,
I might stay away. No, I won't stay away. Of course I won't stay away. No, but yes. I want you to win it this season, but not next season. I don't want what you think, because Laurie says if Arsenal win it this season, that Arsenal will then go the next 3-4 seasons being in and around it, winning potential
100%.
Yeah, that's what he thinks.
yeah.
But that's what I don't
It's
want
funny
to happen.
because me and Cecil
Don't
was
need
having
2
this
we had
times
this
in a row.
conversation. I mean, the only
Yeah.
team that's done the back-to-back or retained it was obviously Man United and City.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd love that. I said today, with me and Laura, fun enough, yeah, we were speaking about it today. I said, I think we go on a run of. when I say domination, I mean we win the Premier League, but I don't think we win back to back. I think we might win some more trophies. So you might see hopefully a Champions League or an FA Cup or whatever league cup after we've won the Premier League. I think there'll be a time where we are still around it and winning silver. Well, I mean, the prime obvious example of that is we've been second. I know as people laugh, we've been second 3 years in a row. That shows we're always in the mix, always in the conversation. Once we get it over the line, I understand why Arsenal fans think, well, this is going to be it then. From there, we just kick on and it continues to win silverware.
I believe in the London bus syndrome, what I call the London bus syndrome.
What's that?
You're waiting for a bus that doesn't
so
arrive.
Long for
One
one
and
to come,
two arrive
and
at
then
once,
two
three
or
arrive at once.
That's what I'm calling it.
I mean, it is the nature of it, and that's why, like with the Carabao Cup, where it's like if Arsenal can get over the line with the Carabao Cup, they'll probably be clean sailing for the rest of the season or towards the Premier League title, and that's true. But meanwhile, Ruben Amorim sacked from Manchester United because, by the way, okay, before we get into it, the amount of stuff that's come out about this kind of the last what's going on behind the scenes the last 3 weeks is mental. So the big initial piece of news, obviously, David Ornstein, as he does, go of all this kind of stuff. Bomb! Ruben Amorim sacked as manager. It's not even 10 a.m. Not even 10 a.m. I was getting ready to film the DR Sports transfer breakdown, and then I get a message from Jason being like, no, changing it, go live now. So 20-minute live on DR Sports, check it out if you haven't already. But then it came out, they made the decision to sack him before the Leeds game. It was on Friday. So we played Leeds on Sunday. They wanted to sack him on Friday because apparently he had a meeting with Barada and Wilcox, our CEO and director of football, where he, quote-unquote, exploded. He apparently just went in on both of them because they asked him to change his formation. They asked him, change your style, become tactically more flexible this way. And he just went, why are you asking me this?
I'm a manager.
Yeah,
I'm a manager.
That's why he came out and he was like, I'm the manager.
I'm not
I've got the decisions. And he apparently blew up in the meeting with Jason Wilcox on Friday. And after that, they went, nah, he's gone.
Even though it's factually incorrect because he keeps going on about, he kept talking about being a manager. But in actual fact, he is a head coach.
This is what I find mad. Yeah. So they flew to Portugal and spoke to him and went, right, we want you to be our head coach. And he went, blah, blah, blah. And then he went, yes. So we signed him a contract. We put a contract on the table, gave him a pen where it said head coach. And he went, yeah, no, signing that. All the announcements, Ruben Amorim, our new head coach. Even in the sacking announcement that we did, head coach Ruben Amorim sacked. He said it. I'm convinced now more than ever with all the stuff that's come out. Apparently he's had shouting matches with Kobe Mainu in training, like shouting at each other, calling out obviously Patrick Dorgu publicly in press conferences, and Amas and co. Are 3 or 4 players were desperate to leave this month if he was staying in charge. Wow. There is no way.
Is it that bad?
Yeah, there is no way he wasn't trying to get sacked. I'm dead convinced of this now. Obviously, no one's saying that. The information isn't coming out being like Amorim was trying to get sacked, etc. But everything that seems to be saying about him, going off on all the guys at the top, going off on players in training, refusing to make changes, saying they're not getting angry over transfers. Because apparently one of the things he's angry about is we were going to try and sign Semenyo. And obviously we didn't. City have got him. Yeah. So Amorim went, oh, cool. So that 65 million we could put somewhere else. Can we sign a midfielder? And United were like, no. We're not signing a midfielder. We told you this months ago. And he threw a hissy fit. And he was like, no, I want a midfielder now. And we were like, well, we're not just going to sign some random Donny on loan. Or
he's quite emotional, isn't he, Ruben? He's quite emotional manager. But did you not see this coming? No, because he swings from high and low in loads of press conferences. I think he's been over emotional for a long time. It's not like this has come out of the blue. And like you said, he's been having these arguments with the players now. I didn't know that, if I'm honest. But surely, you knew from some of his press conferences that he's like this. Is a bit volatile.
Yeah, clearly. So for a while, I've been saying I don't necessarily think he's the wrong guy for United, but he's here 10 years too early. As a manager, etc., good manager, and when things are going well, obviously he's great, personable, etc., and all the players get on with him when he's going well. If he's got an extra 10 years of experience, yeah, maybe he can manage a club like Manchester United or another big or elite club around Europe, but not right now at 40, at 41.
I think Cecil makes an excellent point there. He's overly emotive. We saw it earlier in the season, notably after the Grimsby game. Wasn't he saying, if I'm here the next day and stuff like that? He was...
Yeah, the Grimsby stuff was bizarre. Yeah, that was really, really weird.
I don't know how he got through that.
I
don't know how he got... Honestly, to this day, I was like... How you guys kept him in the job and you stuck by him is maybe that might have been when the downfall started, or it started spiraling and started realising this is not the job for him. But
and this stubborn refusal with the 3 at the back, it's been dragging on for God knows how long. As soon as I've got to say, going back to the interview that he gave, and I'm not being wise after the event, but I said as soon as I saw that interview, I goes, this man, it's almost a self-inflicted constructive dismissal. It's the kind of thing you do when you want to get.
It's like
sacked.
self-sabotage.
Yeah,
So
because he spoke in that interview about 14 months' time, we go our separate ways. I mean,
Yeah, and he's like, in 18 months we go our separate ways. I'm like, are you saying that you're not going to sign a new deal already? We might as well get rid of you now if you
exactly.
don't. Like, and then because in the summer he was like, I want to be here for 20 years, and suddenly it's like, I don't want to be here for 18 months. But another thing that I found so pointed. So this was from the Daily Mail, have reported it today, saying that Ruben Amorim prepared for the Wolves game, the game we drew 1-1. He prepared for the Wolves game in a similar way to Bournemouth and Newcastle, seeing like 4 at the back, 4-2-3-1, etc. And the squad trained the last 2 sessions of the back 4 and expecting to line up. And then when we got to Old Trafford, he went back 3. And the players, apparently, there was a palpable sense of surprise and confusion among Man United's players when he called the squad together beforehand and told them they were changing to a back 3. A dressing room source said he was mumbling as he tried to explain it to them. The players got an impression he didn't have everything under control. He seemed full of self-doubt and quite insecure.
But how can you be not a coach, but you're so adamant to stay in that back 3? I'm confused. Like, if it's your principle, but you're not a coach, so you're not implementing the style of play that you really want to do, you're just a manager, then what are you really doing? I mean, I'm conflicted. This is new information about the arguments and stuff that he was having with players and stuff, because for me, I don't think it's smart that he got sacked at this point anyway. I know as you said, it's the greatest day ever for you, Dylan, that, you know, he's gone now. But I just think for a man that brought his whole backroom, I don't know what the backroom staff were doing, but he brought his whole backroom staff with him to then now be sacked so quickly and leave with all of that, and you're left with, well, Fletcher. I don't know how, I see Man United, I think they've been in the dumps for a little bit, if I'm honest, but it's not going to get...
Been in the dumps since the day he joined, realistically.
We've had then, really. Let's be
well, yeah, okay.
You picked up a few
since
trophies,
Eric Ten
but
Hag's
come on,
first season.
Yeah.
So Eric Ten Hag's first season, finished 3rd, Carabao Cup, back in the Champions League, cool. We then signed...
Was that Red Horse? Is that when he scored? Is that against Newcastle?
That was including
was that his first...
His first season. Well, if we finished 3rd and won the Carabao Cup,
yeah,
that is a good season for a manager coming into a club,
okay, yeah,
isn't
fair,
it?
First,
yeah.
Okay, fair.
And then since then, we then finished 8th and then 15th. So we finished like 8th and won the FA Cup with Eric Ten Hag, but I wouldn't count that as a good season. Then we kept Ten Hag that summer, sacked him after 7 games, brought in Ruben Amorim when we were 12th. We then finished 15th. And then now, the only reason we're 6th is because everyone else drops points as well as we do.
Since Sir Alex, when was the last... Have you been in a title race ever since Sir Alex?
In theory, under Solskjaer, for a little bit. But even then, but that's the same as when Chelsea were in the title race a few weeks ago. Then they dropped off. We finished second. We finished second in the Premier League, but we were 16 points behind City because they got 100 points. There was a point where we were top of the league, I think in January, in 2020. I think it might have been 2020.
Yeah.
But even then, it wasn't a real title race. It was just we were on some good form, and ultimately we finished 3rd.
I'm just trying to play through that.
So in terms of an actual blow for blow title race, no.
That's damning. As a club the size of Manchester United, and now it just always seems like you're just... Listen, Man United fans are the biggest club in the world, actually. There's gonna be a lot of people in the chat that might disagree, but I just think for a club that size, you're just going through cycles over and over again, but they're not positive cycles, they're negative cycles. They're cycles where you're going around a rat race of just the same BS. Like sometimes you sign...
Have no fear, Cecil, because Amorim's gone, but Wilfred Nancy apparently is available.
Oh, yeah, he's just
come
left,
on, man.
Have no
we
fear.
got Darren Fletcher at the wheel.
Enzo Maresca's about.
Nancy,
you know, apparently Jorge Mendes has already contacted United.
I actually have the perfect person for you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I actually think he'll do well. I think he'll get the club back on track.
Why are you trying to help him to get back on their feet?
Because I just think this man, he wears waistcoats very well. He was once the England manager.
Yeah, Gareth.
Good old Gareth.
Sir Gareth.
Sir Gareth.
Sir Gareth.
For his services to football.
Sir Gareth.
No.
He could be the answer.
No.
Sir Gareth.
You know what Sir Gareth?
I disagree.
Does got so much good out of Harry Maguire. Could be the resurgence there as well.
Actually think so. What Southgate did with England, I think, was fantastic in terms of dragging England from where they were to where they ended up. Right, but getting into finals, right? All
energy,
that.
Good vibes,
But
because
what he did was really well was like connecting people together. Right, he connected the players together. He connected the fans, and he also sorted up the guys upstairs, connected everything together.
Would you say Ruben did that well at all?
But
no,
I don't think that's our main priority right now. So when I've been watching our team, right? When I've watched them at the end of Solskjaer, when I've watched them at the end of Mourinho, when I've watched them at the end of Van Gaal, when I've watched them at the end of all these guys, right? It's players who have given up, right? These are players who gave up pretty much half the time. Mm-hmm. They knew the manager was going, and they were just like, I don't really care, I'm going to do whatever. The one thing I've got to say, not seen that under Amorim. Right? In that Leeds game, etc., in these previous games, yeah, they've maybe not played well, but it doesn't look like a squad or a team or a set of players who either give up, there's no contention in the dressing room, etc.
Well, Kobe's not playing. There's some rifts amongst.
But that's
certain
not
players.
risk. That's not really risk against players. It's not Mainoo's not angry at other players. Mainoo was having shouting matches with the manager.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the players as a group, aside from the manager, players as a group, I genuinely think they are much more glued and suited together, and there's much more unity in between them.
Right.
And at least upstairs now, like that is a whole other conversation about the people upstairs, if they're the right people to making decisions, etc. But at least there's like some sort of cohesion. Whereas before it was the owners were in the US. They were having like Zoom calls at 2 a.m. to make decisions, and the owners didn't really care. And Ed Woodward was a marketing guy, like a banker and broker making football decisions.
Yeah.
At least we're trying to get that in the right place. So I do think in terms of unity, etc., there's not fracture in that way. So when another next manager comes in, he'll be coming into a squad that actually has the right people and be unified.
I heard Luke Shaw make a statement about
all the stragglers have gone,
all the stragglers have gone,
which is true. Like
they're fully behind the manager.
Which I thought was a bizarre thing to say. I've been told at United, some of the young players have a mad ego or attitude at everything, really. I got told this a while ago. Actually, it was from someone very close to Rafael Varane, actually, when he was obviously at United. His team, I was somewhere, and was having a conversation. He was just saying, he couldn't believe some of the egos and that were in the change room, and Varane's done it all. When he said like that shocked him. So there's attitude issues and whatnot. So when he said the stragglers probably have been, they've left, that kind of rings a little. It sounds like it rings quite true.
But it's like it's people like, I think like he's more referring to like kind of Anthony and Alejandro Garnacho, etc. in that scenario. But
by the way, liked the tweet, didn't he?
I find that so funny. He liked the Fabrizio Romano's thing, like the Instagram post immediately. But what we are trialing today, what we are going to be trialing on DR Sport today is a couple call-ins. So we've got one of my guys, James, also known as Muppeteers on Instagram. He's a big Man United fan. He's got his own stuff, and I know that he's been quite pro Amorim, right? He's felt like right guy for the job. So I've been really interested I've not spoken to him since it all happened, so I wanted to bring him on.
Wow.
And see kind of how he feels. Have we got James? There he is.
Yeah.
How you doing, mate?
Looks like Jamie O'Hara, mate. I bet you've been told that before, haven't you?
I've had a lot of names, but being American, I usually get a bunch of, American names thrown at me and all that.
But James,
you're better looking than him, by the way.
Appreciate it. So are you.
We got Cecil and Laurie on the panel with us, but I want to get your thoughts. Obviously, I know how you feel about Amorim pre-sacking, but obviously it's been 5-6 hours now. I'm sure you've woken up, you've assessed your thoughts and had your idea of what's gone on here, and I want to know how are you feeling about this? Is it the right decision, wrong decision? Where does the blame lie? And like where can United go forward from now on?
Yeah. Well, I've had a lot of thinking to do since doing a video at 4 a.m. on this to cover everything with when this happens and being live for 2 hours then. But I feel like it is the right thing, and there was always a justifiable reason to do it, but not now. Now it's messy. Now it's chaotic. And not from the perspective of like the club itself, that we're in the middle of a season doing this again. Yeah, we did it last year.
Second
and
season
it's
in
like,
a row
why are we doing this now? And you talk about this thing about, all right, you've got the formation, we want to change tactics, we want to do this. Okay, why'd you get through summer without changing any of that? Why'd you go through all summer without doing that? I was there on the preseason tour with the club. I followed the games, I covered things, I spoke with people. That was all claiming about how together everybody is. They're all aligned on the tactics, they're aligned on the ideas, they're aligned on the systems, they're recruiting players for the manager, they're going to do this, do that. And then, 3 months in, you panic and you start changing your ideas. And clearly, I think Amorim wanted out. He clearly wanted to be sacked with his words, like 100%. He wanted out. He was done. I mean, I've heard some things in the last few hours in the fallout since this that haven't been out there yet, but I think he backed up what he said publicly, privately, by saying, I'm done at the end of my contract because this isn't what I signed up for. And at that point, they're like, well, guess it's time to go.
Do you think he was actively trying to get himself out of the club then?
With the comments,
with the last 3-4 weeks about what he's doing, what he's been doing.
I don't think the last 3 or 4 weeks. I think that part's really recent. I think that on that standpoint, it's like since Friday. I think he's figuring he's been silently sacked. Wilcox doesn't trust him anymore. Board doesn't trust him anymore. No players for him in January. No reinforcements incoming, and it's a tight table. Well, what am I going to do? Sit here, be blamed when we finish in 8th? And that's from his perspective, right? Sit here, finish lower in the table in the second half of the season, and then be blamed for it, and then be sacked in summer. He'd rather just be done now. I think that's where he was at.
So James, so are you frustrated? Are you not frustrated at all at your board, like Ineos or the people above that have not
100%.
got a plan to say, like, now there's a January window. If there was friction before, like, surely you'd have a plan to bring a manager back in. Now you're going to might have Fletcher, and then you got to get an interim. Then you're going to look for a new manager at the end of the season. Like, that, to me, I said earlier to Dylan that it's a cycle of Man United. They shouldn't be going through these terrible cycles when they're such a big club. Like, you could have a manager ready to come in January, have a window as well to maybe bring some players to steady the ship. Now it just looks like it's going to be Fletcher and vibes. Maybe his twin sons get a few minutes.
Yeah.
Starting pivot.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, are you not frustrated that the club's just not prepared for these situations? And in that
Not
sense?
very, because it wasn't supposed to happen right now. Very frustrated with it. It shouldn't have happened right now. Like, we got told recruitment wasn't going to be based on a manager, and then you have no players for him, and you have no players for the club. Like, no matter what, they should have been prepared for every sort of scenario here. They should have been ready to sign players in January. They should have been ready with alternatives if they'd reached a point where they're saying, we don't really trust this manager anymore. We want changes. I mean, I think once you're going to a manager and saying, you got to change your tactics, you've already decided he's not the guy.
Yeah.
So you better have backups in place, because most managers I don't think there's many managers that want their bosses dictating to them, especially one like Amorim, who said, 1,000 times, this is the way he wants to play.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think speaking, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think Arteta would have appreciated people coming to him, telling him how to manage, or feel like he had
Arteta's a bit of a
trust.
control freak. I don't know if you've seen him on the touchlines.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is ridiculous. When he steps forward, when he steps forward to the touchline, when the winger's approaching him, I think it's crazy.
Yeah,
The way he does it, outrageous.
he's
Outrageous from him.
He is a bit of a control
I don't think he
freak.
would have stood for it. So, yeah, I think he would have been in the same boat, to be honest.
Is
So
there anyone that
I think
stands out for
any
you?
manager would get that idea.
Is
Who
there
stands
is
out?
there anyone, like, even strip away managers who are in a job or not in a job, right?
Southgate, come on.
Is there anyone that actually, he's been saying Southgate the entire time.
that
Is there
I want, or that the club
anyone that
could
you think
bring
would
in?
like? So assume the way that we're going forward, right, is that they want to, because they want a collaborative effort of a head coach plus a recruitment guy plus the DOF plus a couple others, all working together rather than like manager having overall control. Is there any like head coach, so to speak, out there that you think actually is what Ineos would desire?
Based on this, I think they're dreaming. I think they're looking for a unicorn, somebody that doesn't want that's going to be fine with interference, that's going to be fine not having a say on transfers, but that's also going to be fine with someone telling them what formation to play, what
they want to be
tactics to
they want to be
I don't think that
manipulated.
exists.
Yeah.
Graham
What about
Potter,
someone like,
good luck.
Olivier Glasner?
Enjoy.
Oliver Glasner.
Oliver Glasner.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
Oliver Glasner,
I
surely.
think Glasner is so similar, though, in a lot of respects. I mean,
He likes to play
it's not
for
obviously the exact same, but I just don't see how that's much of a change for us. I mean, he might be happy stepping up to a bigger club. Palace has been a rough place. They've been selling all his players and things like that, but I mean, he's probably the favorite right now, to be honest. But I'm not sold on that
according
idea
to
at all.
the Telegraph, he's the top choice. But that's because Christopher Vivol is a very, very big fan of him. But I do
Started
think
at Leipzig. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take any permanent manager report. I'm going to take with a massive pinch of salt for the next month or so, because I think United will be sitting there and telling they've given themselves like 5-6 months on purpose. They've gone, okay, we're going to wait till the end of the season because it actually gives us till the end of the season.
But there's no hope for you guys to sign anyone this January window. Then is there? Or is it? I don't know of a club that's got an interim manager and made signings in the period where they're looking for a new manager. Like, that would just be bizarre.
I don't think if we were to change formation and go to like a 3-4-3 or 4-2-3-1, I think we'd be fine. Our goals will still be achievable without any new signings if we were to stop this back three stuff. Because we've got decent midfield as long as they stay fit. Obviously, we've got 8 absences at the moment, right? Bruno Fernandes is reportedly back on... I don't know if you've seen this, James. Bruno reportedly back on grass training and pushing to be available against Burnley, which would be lovely.
Fair.
Bruno back in a 10, and he can just do that thing where he puts us on his back and he does this, and he just takes us to the end of the
What
season.
about Enzo Maresca? He's available.
I don't know about Maresca.
Look at the way he left
Because-
Chelsea, bro.
because
There's
he already
no way
didn't
he
like
just
the team
left for
creating
the
against
same
Chelsea.
reasons.
Not having that.
He wouldn't like it
was
against
the same
United either.
reasons that Amorim's gone, you know?
Yeah.
The same
It's a-
reason.
It's a madness. So basically, you United fan, listen, there's gonna be loads in the chat, but like, it's a write-off. You got City coming up soon. You got Manchester. Like, what are you lot? Are you
No,
Are you
this-
surrendering, or is
no,
it?
this-
Is it just
I think
Fletcher's
it's a
coming in
write-off.
now and things will get better? Like,
This season is far from a write-off. It's far from right because all we want is top 5. That is so doable.
Huh?
That is okay. We're currently 5th, level with 5th on points. We're level with 5th on points. I know that we're like 4 points by 12.
So it's not a write-off. They can't afford another season.
I
out
know,
of
but
Europe,
what's
surely.
going on in the background is I'll be honest, it's disastrous.
No, but financially.
But
they're
I'm
not
talking about
gonna-
for the rest of this season. For the rest of the season, the goals that we want to achieve, which is get back into European football, is so doable. It's so doable. We've got a point in the right interim, which is why there's been links with Ole and stuff, and also Carrick, and there's a few others. But yeah, but James, thank you so much for coming on. As well, by the way, anyone who's watching now, 7 p.m. James and I will be joining Flex and Co on United View for the red carpet for what will probably be a fantastic episode of Red Carpet. Marcel, I'm pretty sure, will be on. Bradley will be coming on. Bradley's coming also to join us shortly on air on live at 5. But anyway, thank you so much, James.
Thank you.
Take care, James.
Cheers,
I'll
mate.
see you in a bit.
All right, let me ask before we move forward. So what?
Yeah, go on.
The players that have been frozen out, I just wanted to see what's going on. So obviously, Kobe Manu is probably going to return. Is he going to return now? Probably.
Yeah.
Good.
You're back in that starting 11.
Talking of that, could I just quickly
Back in that
say,
starting
has there
11.
been any, sometimes when a manager leaves a club,
Yeah.
you will know this more than me with United, players will tweet out and say, good luck, boss, and thanks for working with you. Has there been any of that from
Yeah,
United club?
so they finished training about an hour ago, so they're starting to flood through now. So I mean, so Mount, Ahmad, Delit, Bruno, Dallo, and Maguire have all put stuff out.
Presumably,
Obviously, Kobe
Manu
Manu
was
is going to
used,
say nothing.
Yeah, Maguire's
His
gonna-
brother's going to tweet that shirt again.
Yeah,
he's gonna make a new
All
one.
right, next one then. My boy, I have to mention him. What, Marcus? That's what,
Bro.
Too far gone?
I
need to know.
so
I need to know.
the actual lowdown with it is that we didn't put any sort of recall clause in his loan deal,
Oh, Lord.
which stupid.
Wait,
So
what?
dumb. No, there is no recall clause. So we
On a
can't-
loan deal, there's no recall.
There's no
clause.
and Barcelona have an option to buy him in the summer for 26 million quid. But
26 mil.
they don't. But reports say they don't like the fact that he's 29 next season. It's like starting next season he turns 29.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
want to go through the youth.
How's he doing
So,
there anyway?
He's doing all right.
25 games, 7 goals, 11 assists,
That's good.
It's a good
18
return.
goal involvements in 25 games.
That's
Oh,
good.
no, league goals. I think he's not been fantastic, but it's Champions League where
Yeah,
he's,
he's been
he's
good in the
properly
Champions League.
smashing in the Champions League. He is. Obviously, he's got the back break against Newcastle. Rashford is one. It was my. It was my first thought.
Yeah,
As soon as I saw him sacked, I was like, A, I was like,
Mark.
fantastic. B, I was like, what's the? I googled it immediately. I was like, what is the? There's no recall clause.
That's
but
crazy.
he will come back if Barcelona choose not to sign him. But they have to choose to sign him. It's like a 2-week window at the beginning of right at the beginning of the summer. That's when the option is, or like end of June or something. I don't know.
It's interesting. Yeah, sorry, I had to mention. Obviously,
I would love to have him back.
Yeah,
I would take him back any
Rashford,
day
my
of the
guy.
week.
Yeah, he's a good player. I just
He's one of my favourite players. Always has been.
It's weird. Do you know why I get
But
such
is he
mixed?
one
He
of the
gets such mixed
stragglers that Luke
reviews.
Shaw was referring
Well,
to?
I really doubt it. I really doubt it. Maybe under Amorim, maybe he didn't believe in Amorim because Amorim was being like, "I'll play my goalkeeper coach over him." At
Yeah,
the
that's-
time, like,
that
which
was
is-
crazy.
Which now, the more I think about it, the more I get what he was trying to say, but the way he said it was mental.
that was dark.
But yeah, it's just. I hope so. I really, really hope so. But like he has written in the chat, says Hansi Flick wants to keep him, but it's Deco who's not as sold on it at the moment.
Right.
So that's just a case of we'll see what happens in the summer. Odds are I think they'll sign him. Like if you've got a winger who's that good and he's 26 million, like you would sign him for Arsenal for 26 million.
That is, yeah,
bargain.
bro. I would.
Bargain
I
in the
would.
summer.
I listen.
Bargain of the summer.
Just like people know this anyway. I've worked with Marcus for many years, and like what you see on the pitch is different to what you actually. The ability he has is ridiculous. People talk about the same with Declan Rice. You listen to the interviews when the England players talk about who's got loads of tech that don't really see. They say Declan Rice. They used to say Rashford, funny enough, but Marcus can do things with football that not many. Even the way he strikes the ball is not like a normal footballer. So he's got so much ability. I think it's been a wrong. It kind of went a bit sour at United. He can return. I think he's still got enough quality to have a really good career. He's doing well at Barcelona. if you get him, fair play. If he was available for Arsenal for that sort of money,
Yeah, it's
I'd say take him.
he's an amazing striker. And slash winger. He's also it's so funny. He's basically the profile we're currently looking for in the transfer market. We're looking for someone who can play off the left and up front.
Yeah, man.
It's Marcus Rashford to a T.
Madness.
So big up Michael Broussal 1253 in the chat, who says, I am a Canadian Man United fan and my opinion is that the club is broken and rotten from top to bottom. Harsh. Wilcox and the CEO Omar Barada need to be sacked as well. And I'm really happy you've brought that, because that's the next point I want to go on to. Is board level, it's the whole thing's been a massive mistake, and it's cost the club. So to sack Eric Ten Hag cost us about 10 mil, and then to pay Ruben Amorim's release clause was about
8 mil,
10. It's 8 mil for him, then another 2 million, so that's another 10 million.
Bloody hell.
And then to get rid of Amorim's about another 10 million plus his backroom staff payoff.
Bloody
It's about
hell.
35 mil.
I'll be honest, yeah. Your rebuild, I thought you was already going through a rebuild. This next, it's going to take.
It seems to be permanent transition.
This is what I'm saying. It's a cycle. It's a never-ending cycle. And it's just not the
Stability,
United way.
hey, Cecil, stability is not for everyone, you know.
Listen, I just listen. We went through it with Arsenal.
Not every club is like Arsenal.
No, I know. We went through it with Arsenal, and if I'm honest, it actually was quite. If we're being real, a rebuild was quite quick. Obviously, the ownership changed their tune. They brought into the manager. 2 8th place finishes, half season 8th, then 8th again, then 5th finish, and then obviously second. Cool. But that was quite a quick rebuild, in my opinion, considering what we had to do. I know you guys got plans for a new stadium, you've got a new training ground. It's supposed to be really, really nice. But the main things is what's happening on the pitch, and it just seems like it keeps getting stunted by a manager sacking, players' attitudes. It's a star player going into dispute with a manager. It always just constantly seems like the main thing that needs to fix is obviously what's being put on the pitch, but that seems like it's the hardest point for you to fix. So and when you got an ownership, we got lucky that ownership kind of, if I'm honest, they're fine now. But
your ownership kicked into gear big time.
I don't know if I see Ineos, and you guys protest every freaking week. Every week, every time we play Old Trafford, there's a protest.
Every week, there's green and gold scarves every week. So, even if it's a big one or a little protest, because it's been consistent since day one.
Every week. So I don't know when this rebuild happens. I don't know when it becomes working again. I don't know when you go back. I asked you already in the show, when were you last challenging? And if I'm honest, they were half challengers. So I'm just like, I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm happy, but for you guys,
that's why I think that stability is obviously a big issue, and I think that Fletcher will probably get the job for the remainder of the season.
No, I don't think so.
No.
They'll
get an interim.
Because your next appointment is
he'll
do or die.
So Fletcher will get Wednesday and Sunday, Burnley and Brighton, and then we'll appoint like an actual caretaker.
You need to be really diligent this time around, because you can't have no more car crashes.
Which is what I think it'll be either. So it'll be manager at the end of the season will be, if Solskjaer's putting himself forward, he will be in contention, or it'll be Michael Carrick or something like that. Like someone who just easy knows the club, can just like get the players placed in decent football.
Yeah, but I would suggest you don't want that. You don't want.
But so our permanent managerial appointment is going to come in at the end of the season.
Is this what you do with Ollie?
Yeah.
Wasn't Ollie a temporary?
He was
interim,
he
went
did
Ollie
so well
that
we just gave. He won 9 out of 10, 9 games in a row, 10 games in a row. But as well, I do want to talk a bit more about the ownership, and we've got someone else tuned in, Bradley.
Go on.
I think Bradley's here, ready to talk to us. If he is, he's a United fan from. He's coming on, also another United View regular. How you doing today, Brad?
Oh my guy! Yes, Brad.
You right?
How are you, my friend?
Good.
Good, big up. Oh, sorry. I've been in a box many times and we've sat and spoken.
Of course,
Big up.
Bradley, so I want to speak to you about, because I know how you feel. I saw your message in the chat as well, basically. The message you put in the chat was hilarious. But it's about a kind of, obviously, I want to know your thoughts about, getting rid of Amorim. I know your thoughts about Amorim.
I know your thoughts.
Getting rid of Amorim, and then also the board and the decisions they've made and how they've gone about this, either like the first 2 years, but also in the last couple of weeks. How do you feel, mate?
Well, I'm glad Amorim's gone, because he's been a joke at Man United. Like, his performances show that, his win percentage shows that. However, I don't think Ineos would have sacked him if it wasn't for the fallout. I think they were content with the results. That's my biggest concern. Also, I think the decisions they've made in the last 18 months have been scandalous. And I think if this was just the Glazers, I think there'd be riots in the stadium, if I'm being completely honest with you.
You reckon?
I do. I think making excuses for making Sir Alex Ferguson redundant. I think removing charities. I think increasing merchandise prices, increasing season ticket prices for worse of football. I think is an absolute disgrace.
Makes a good point.
Oh no, I completely agree.
He
with
actually
him.
makes a good point.
I completely agree with him.
I've been with Bradley a few times. And I think sometimes he can be. He says how he feels, and sometimes I think he can be quite harsh. But he's what you just said there, Brad. You're spot on. I think the whole. I forgot about that. He reduced. Well, he took Sir Alex Ferguson from his duties as well. Obviously the price cuts, all of that, and like you said, you've done all of this stuff, and you're not really seeing better football as a bit of a problem. However, I suppose you're getting the new training ground. Does that play into effect for you guys? You've got a new training ground. The stadiums, the plans are moving forward. Or do you not care? You probably don't care about that. You want to see performances. I suppose it's not Tottenham Hotspur.
Did he make a pretty strong statement about some of the academy players as well,
Amorim? Yeah. So just the other again. So I said there's lots of stuff coming out. That's another thing of the stuff coming out. So Samuel Lockhurst, who, regardless of what you think of him and the Sun, etc., he's good for United, right? He knows his stuff inside out, especially in these kind of situations. He's the kind of journalist that thrives in these situations. What he basically said is the calling Dorgu anxious in a publicly in a press conference, and then going for Chido Obi and Harry Amas in press conferences a week later or so, apparently took the club really off guard and really by surprise, and they were not happy at all. They weren't happy with what Ruben Amorim was saying. And so it just started, the more things he started saying in the last 3 or 4 weeks in press conferences is where the club kept going, wait, why are you saying that? Why are you doing? Why are you calling these players out? Because it was a question about Mainu, and then he's going off about Harry Amas, who's won back-to-back Player of the Month awards in the Championship for Sheffield Wednesday and co. That's another set of things that the club were just looking at him going, what is going on? So I asked this to James Bradley, but I want to ask you the same as well. Do you think Amorim was engineering his exit? Do you think he was doing this stuff on purpose?
Absolutely. I said he's either the world's biggest idiot or he's sabotaging us, because the decisions he was making, they were ridiculous. Like, I can't believe what's happened over these last 18 months. I think it's completely scandalous. I don't understand why you want to go down a model of a head coach, but then hire a manager like Ruben Amorim, who's managed like 400 games, and 95% of his games he's always played a back five. So if you're having a head coach, it's got to be a gaming model from the very top in the hierarchy, and then you bring in a coach that's willing to adapt to that gaming model. Ruben Amorim was never, ever going to do that. So that instantly causes a divide between the hierarchy and the coach. And I think the decision-making from the manager was absolutely shocking.
Okay, come on. Let's ask this question then. Come on in, Brad. Add Dylan. Who do you want next?
I was just about to ask this.
Come on.
Are we gonna? So actually, I'll split this into two. So the two main candidates so far coming out as caretaker is Carrick. They're gonna talk to him, and Solskjaer's put himself forwards. So, A, kind of for the rest of the season, Bradley, who would you like to see come in? And then B, after that, in the summer, assuming a new manager is appointed, who would you want that to be?
I'm worried about having a caretaker manager, if I'm being honest, especially someone that's associated with the club in the past, because someone like bringing back Ollie, if he has a good run, you know what the fans are going to be like. It's going to play on the heartstrings of the fans.
Ollie at the will.
And they might want to bring him back and keep him as a full-time manager. That's a risk in itself. This is why I think the latest Amorim should have been sacked was in the summer. I think this is a bad timing now, because we're lucky that the rest of the league is that bad, that we're still in the pack for Europe somehow. So I don't understand the timing of the sacking as well, even though I did want Ruben Amorim out and I was adamant on that. And it all depends on if we're going to carry on with this model of a head coach and a gaming model, because if that's the case, then you've got to bring in a manager that's willing to adapt and follow that structure. Otherwise, there's no point bringing in a manager that's going to have set ways and wants to dictate who comes in the transfer window, who goes, because then it's just going to cause a divide again, and then we're going to be back to square one.
It limits your options, I'll be honest. You're asking the managers to come in, bring your team with you, but you have to abide to what we kind of say and who we really want to sign. I mean, I don't know many managers that'll be. I
mean, look, De Zerbi turned us down. That's why De Zerbi turned us down.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In the summer, we spoke to Tuchel, we spoke to De Zerbi when we had Ten Hag.
They both turned us down.
And they were like, we want to run the club from the bottom to the top, and they didn't agree with that, and then that's why they didn't join.
Yeah, you limit, like I said, limit your options. I mean, I think you're gonna struggle to really find. Well, for the size of Man United, you're gonna struggle, guys. I mean, I don't mind. I don't care. But for you guys, like I said, it's been so many. I keep going back to the same point. So many seasons of cycles that aren't good.
United is the kind of club though that will attract people because it's a big club, and then there's what we call saviour complex. There'll be a lot of managers out there that will look at that job and think, I am the person that can turn that around. So I don't have any doubt that there will be a number of suitors. It's obviously doing your due diligence.
For how long? People look at it and say,
the attraction of bringing Manchester United back to the top will always be
100%.
some level of attraction. That's why we're still able to sign Cunha and Bumo and Šeško and these kind of guys. Like maybe Semenyo.
Well,
I think
the
Semenyo's
first two, not so much the third one.
No, but that's one of the reasons we were able to sign him. He wanted to pick us over other clubs that were interested in him, like Newcastle and Bayern, etc. But regardless, I do think that the attraction will always be there. But I also think it's starting to wane a bit. Like 18 months ago, I think Semenyo comes here. Now, not so much. Like I do think it's starting to wane.
Not players.
Yeah, no, but it's the same bracket of stuff, isn't it? But
players always sign.
I think it's both.
Attraction of it, they will.
No, but for a manager, that is a big job.
It's a massive job.
To be able to do that, you cement yourself in a certain amount of history. To be the first manager to lift the Premier League title with United since Sir Alex Ferguson in 2013, whoever manages to do that ends up, he becomes immortalised.
Can you do that when you have the
but
board
this is the thing,
but
when it's just the head coach and it's like, what, they will be lifting the trophy together at the end, like all 7 of them. That I agree with.
Arse.
But also, this show, sponsored by Rocket Mobile, the fantastic £16 a month deal, as you can see on your screen. We also do every time Rocket presents Ranked, where we rank something. And Bradley, I'm going to start with you first. If you were to have some names, give me a top 3, like ranking them 3, 2, and 1, about who you would like to see, regardless of if they're at a club or not at a club, on the touchline for United next season. Is there a top 3 that you've got?
I would say Glasner, number 3. I would probably go De Zerbi, number 2, and then Nagelsmann, number 1.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I hear that. I like that, to be fair. I like that. Have either of you got like kind of a list of who United should be looking for? 1, 2, and 3?
I don't know if I got a 3. I got Glasner at number 2. After the World Cup, if Tuchel doesn't do too well, I think you could look at Thomas Tuchel as well. I don't think that'd be too much of a bad shout for Manchester United. Maybe I haven't put him in order. Maybe at number 1. De Zerbi went for in the past. I think he would be a good suitor. So that could be 3. That could be the 3. I think Glasner is definitely one to look at. Actually, or maybe not. I like Iriola. I don't know if he would work for Manchester United. I know he's obviously at Bournemouth right now. He's doing well. I say that they haven't won in the last 11 games, but Iriola, I think he's a very, very good coach. Actually, I think he can get a good tune out of a load of players out of a team and get them playing really good football. I have friends at Bournemouth as well that say he's a great tactician as well.
Good gaffer.
Yeah,
Just
so actually,
a solid gaffer.
I'll put Iriola in there, but obviously he's at Bournemouth, so I don't know if you're about to get him. But if you're looking at a guy who can, put out a good, can organise a team properly.
I don't think it would work, personally.
Really?
If we got him, because, as you said, the last 11 games he hasn't won. You can't get away with that at Man United.
I've got 3.
You got
that
3?
I think would be perfect for
Go on.
United. Sam Allardyce, 3rd. Wilfred Nancy, number 2.
You are so unserious, Laurie.
And number 1, we mentioned him already, Gareth Southgate.
I'm glad you're not in control of my club, man. Glad you're not in control.
No, those are the ones that I want to see. I'm not saying
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I was being very unbiased. I was being quite.
You're being too nice. I'm telling you what I want to see.
Yeah, but I do want to say quickly,
Salford if we got
Bradley, sorry, I'm going to have to let you go here, but thank you so much for joining. If you want to see more of Bradley
Thank
again,
you.
like I said
Thank you.
before, come and join us 7 p.m. on United UTV for the red carpet. I believe, Bradley, you'll be there, won't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, perfect. All right, I'll speak to you then, mate. Thank you very much.
perfect.
I'd like to see
Take care.
more
Yeah.
Bradley as well, but the screen seems to be...
Ten Hag,
Gone.
Dylan?
Don't even get me started. He's a free agent. No. So my top
Ollie's
3.
coming. If Ollie's potentially coming back, Ten Hag and maybe like.
Yeah, but I liked Solskjaer. I didn't like Ten Hag. By the end of it, I just disagreed with everything he did. His recruitment was terrible. The thing about, because Ten Hag was all right actually managing on the pitch, but his recruitment was terrible and he was so insistent on signing Anthony.
Yeah,
he was
that
so
was
insistent on signing
crazy.
Andre Onana. He was so insistent on these guys, and we had like Sabitzer on loan. We got Weghorst on loan. We got like
They bought you
other
you got
guys
your
on loan.
trophy.
Yeah, he did get an assist in the final.
Come
Fair
on.
enough. But no, it's for me. So Bradley said it. For me, the absolute number one choice, if I could pick anyone, it also would be Nagelsmann. I think he's a fantastic coach. He's so good. Big club experience, also national team experience. I feel like the experience he has is something Ruben Amorim is. This is what I said, like massively missing. Ruben Amorim in 10 years' time, again, might be the kind of guy who actually will come to United with the experience of being at a big club, etc., and be able to be more flexible. And he's learned 10 years of stuff. Nagelsmann, I think, has that, while also being, I think, the kind of coach that Ineos would like. Like, they seem to like the slightly more, like I say, quote unquote, like hipster coach. Like, you know, like the cool, younger, flashier coach. It seems, because that's what we've been linked with for the most part. Even like Bar Tuchel, the other managers we were linked with, like kind of Thomas Frank at Brentford. Like, obviously, pre-Spurs, Spurs has shown that maybe he can't do big club stuff.
Yeah.
Better at mid-table
got
thing.
one,
But at the time, he was like that. But then
got
also, we were linked to De Zerbi. It was the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
We've been linked with Hertzler previously as well. Like, that seems to be the kind of mould that these guys want.
Well, that's...
And I think Nagelsmann fits that.
I'll tell you one that I think would be a good choice, actually, if you could land him. Unai Emery.
I don't know.
If
I
you
was
could land
asked
him.
about this.
Nah.
I think if Aston Villa is his bag.
Yeah,
That's Emery down to a T.
Same.
It's the team
You
that
don't think
doesn't
you can do it
quite.
at the elite level?
No.
And also, I
Because
think
I
I
just
think
don't
the
think
board.
he's suited to it.
I don't think the board gel with him either. I really don't think the board will gel with him. Listen, I'm not a United fan, but from what I've seen, I don't see how Unai.
But it'd be a massive upgrade on what they've had.
Yeah, of
Ten
course,
Hag
of
and
course.
Emery.
Most would.
But the people like Unai's, I think, a little. He's just above that category of people you're talking about. Hertzlers, the Franks,
Just above.
Yeah, he's above that.
When you say just above that, what are you saying? Like just above, or
Well, he's
because he's levels above them, man. Look at what he's won in the game.
He's the Lionel Messi of mid-table teams.
Yeah, but
that's what
not
I'm-
being
that's what I'm
funny.
saying.
Man
That's
United
what I
right
mean.
now are a mid-level club.
No, but we don't. So what I mean is there are certain managers who are elite at relegation battles. Yeah, we've seen them in the Sam Allardyce's,
yep.
Tony Pulis,
Sean
etc.
Dyche's.
Sean Dyche. These guys, that's their bag. That's like, you put Sean Dyche in like an elite title-winning team, it probably doesn't work as much as he could go on stick to football and say you think it would. But and then you've got managers who were fantastic at raising the floor of mid-table clubs, like Unai Emery.
Yeah, I agree
I
with
think
you.
so. It was every single season, when he was in Spain, he'd win the Europa League, qualify for the Champions League, get knocked out of the Champions League, and win the Europa League again. Because when it comes to competing in the Champions League, when it comes to bringing Arsenal above that top four, trying to get into the title, it doesn't work.
He's spot on there. And even Villa, if you look at last season, like right now they're in a good spot, but let's see where they are at the end of the season. They always tail off as well. So like
They started the season with 5 losses in a row, I'm pretty sure.
they did, correct.
That's what I mean.
Now
Correct.
they're in
They went on a
third.
really good run. Yeah, the most on-form team.
When he took
But-
over from Gerrard, they were an absolute basket case of a club.
Yes, and he raised the floor of the
And
team
that's what I'm saying.
to create them where they are
You
now.
may need to transition to his level, and then
but
once you've stabilised out, do what we did.
But
when we got
correct.
rid of him, brought in Arteta, and then look.
So there's an anomaly. That's what I was going to say. I was literally going to say that just before you guys went into your your paragraph there. Is the fact that Arteta was that really? Well, he obviously hadn't had any managerial experience before that, but he was the kind of the anomaly of. He was in that sort of bracket, in my opinion, the Iriola sort of place. Same with Unai Emery. We haven't seen much of him, but I just thought they took a risk on him because it was a cheap option, whatnot. But he ended up being a really good manager. I know I mentioned Iriola. That's because I think he has a quality to be a very good coach and get a good tune out of the Manchester United side. Manchester United team. The only thing is, I haven't seen him at a big side. I don't know if he'll fell under the lights of Manchester United, but I know he's a good coach. I think Arteta was similar. But Arteta has now become a good coach and manager. He's built himself into what he is today. So that's just why I put Iriola in the bag.
Just very quickly, I think the other reason why Emery might be a good fit for United is that he's obviously managed in the Premier League for a number of years now. So he knows the Premier League inside out, all the teams. You get somebody like a Nagelsmann or one of the others, as Xavi or whatever, it's going to take them a while, just like it would take a player to bed in. You don't really want that now, do you? You need to kick on. You're desperate to kick on from where you are now. Emery will definitely take you to that next stage. In order to win the elite trophies, you might have to go one above him. But for now, you need to level up.
Yeah, but then you're immediately suggesting that what we should do is hire a manager with the idea of only having him for a couple of years to then get another one that would be better.
Yeah,
than
but
him.
that's
I just don't
that's how
think
it
that
works
will work.
nowadays.
I just don't think that.
But the days of
because we don't. We aren't as. I don't think we're as low as you think we are at the moment.
No, but you said yourself earlier that the club is you didn't use a word, but that's what you meant. It's a basket case of a club right now. So you need a respected manager to come in where the players are going to sit there and listen. There's not going to be any of this conjecture
No.
about...
I agree with that. I just don't think that that's going to end up working with Emery. Specifically him.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, no, we don't. Yes, we do. We need a manager to come in and go, okay, I know how to play. And Bumo at his best, Šeško at his best, Bruno at his best, Cunha at his best, etc. I mean, I don't know about Bruno. Bruno might leave. But then like Mainu, De Ligt, Mazraoui, Lamans, like these are good players. These are good players who aren't playing at their best. I want a manager to come in, yes, who commands respect and go, but doesn't go, I'm going to make sure you fit into what I did over there because it worked previously. It's come in and go, okay, this is what I've got. I'm going to design something that will fix it.
Give me okay, I don't know what this is. I don't know what the manager is it's going to be, but give me the first thing he needs to do for you as a fan. Because for me, I was going to say, surely it needs a culture change, but it doesn't. You just said to me the players all playing, all the players all together. Okay, for Arsenal, we needed when Arteta came, we needed a culture change. It was the fans weren't. They weren't, had a good relationship with the fans. The players didn't have a good relationship with fans. Sorry, there was rats and moles at the time as well. There was a lot of things that had to change. There was players that were aging, getting paid a lot of money, and not really doing too much. So we needed a whole culture change. We got that. For you, for when the next manager comes in, don't know who it's going to be. What is the first thing that is so important that needs to be done at Manchester United?
It's a manager who can show us immediately he can work with what he's being given in terms of our squad. Right. Plus adding because we're going to go and we're going to try and sign some good mids this summer, right? 100%. That's our bag in the summer, right? It's signing one of like Anderson or Belieber or Wharton, etc. Like a big money mid plus potentially a second one as well. So assuming that comes through, it's someone who can go, all right, I know how to platform these players and use them. Because I'm still convinced we have damn good players in our squad. We've got some really, really good players in our squad. Mbumo's come off a 20-goal season. Cunha's come off a 15-goal season. Šeško, admittedly, jury's out on Šeško, but you can see how he could become a very, very good striker in the future. But it's about someone who can come in and not go, right, okay, I need 250 million, 4 summers, I need half of these players to go, I need this and this and that, because I'm convinced our squad is good. I want a manager to come in and go, I can use this lot. I know how to play with this lot.
Your squad of your first 11's good. I'm looking at your players.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
you're going to say, I'll be honest.
First
your
11,
squad's not.
Yeah, I'll accept that. Yes.
Okay.
No, get our good players playing at their best.
Right.
Before then, just kind of going to the board and going, money, gimme money.
I hear what you guys are saying, but I beg to differ, and here's why. Because as we've already said, and it's clear. I mean, you've only got to see some of the headlines coming out of the club at the moment. There's been a lot of turmoil going on. You need somebody that's respected, come into that club, level things up, get things smoothed out, just like what Emery did when he took over at Villa after Gerrard near enough relegated him. You need someone to come in. I'm not saying he's going to be the one that's going to bring you the elite trophies like the Premier Leagues and stuff like that, but you do need a period of stability. And somebody like him, a respected figure, tactically very astute, very experienced, good with players. You hear what the Villa players speak about when they talk about Emery. Yeah. You need somebody like that, if not him, somebody like that to come in and level things up. Then you can look at taking it to that next level. In my humble
I actually
opinion.
think we might be saying the same thing here, because
you're saying Emery wouldn't be.
Yeah, no, I just don't think Emery's going to be the guy to do it.
But you are saying the same thing.
But in the way of like, it's just someone who won't like immediately say they need a load of new things. Because I like our recruitment the last 2-3 summers. I think it's been very, very good. Very few misses. The only misses. Huh? No, I don't think Šeško is a miss. It's been like 4 months, bro. I know you're wanting me. Ugarte is one of the biggest misses I've ever seen in my entire career. As a, career as an fan, life as a United fan, or just across football. Xerxes just hasn't worked. Decent player, Serie A player of the year and stuff, but just not Prem built. He can't. He just can't. He's not a Premier League player.
But you know what? Emery's the kind of guy. He's known for improving
signings.
Players. You chat to anybody that does a deep dive on Emery. They say 9 times out of 10 he makes them better players. So somebody like a Xerxes might flourish under someone like Emery.
Yeah, like you're saying someone like Emery, and I do agree with you. I just don't think, I just don't think it's him specifically. But as well, it's like I don't necessarily think our players. Like, obviously some of them do, and some of them just aren't cut for it. But I'd say a lot of our most key players don't need improving. They need platforming. They need to be given the system that fits them best. Kobe Mainoo doesn't necessarily need improvement. We already know how good he is. He's already a Premier League level. Like, he benched Trent Alexander-Arnold in the Euros as an 18-year-old. We've seen him for England, we've seen it for United. Bruno Fernandes doesn't need improving. He's already a world-class midfielder. And Bumo doesn't need improving. Cunha doesn't need improving. Lammers doesn't even need improving. De Ligt doesn't need improving. They just need to be used properly. That's where I am with this.
Mazard God says, just bring in Eddie Howe for FF's sake. Now,
but he's not overly impressing at Newcastle.
No, he's not. They're not happy with him. But he might be
actually not bad. I don't mind.
I don't mind it. Listen,
I'm not.
I think that's not a bad shout.
I like Eddie Howe,
and he can steady the ship. Anyway, that's
Eddie Howe, by the way, is a perfect example of someone who can work with what he's got.
Yeah.
Perfect example of it. Yeah,
and he gets players on board.
I think Glasner falls into that category as well.
The only thing that worries me about Glasner is his record with more than 50%. This is getting into specifics, but his record with more than 50% possession. It might just be the type of squad he has at Palace. Obviously, like they're stripping him of players, and the squad's getting better the more players they take off him. Seeming at the moment,
he also plays the three at the back.
Yeah. He would have to come in the contingency that he goes, I'm never going near that.
Yeah, it's not transfixed. Once a new manager comes in, it's their philosophy. They can change.
As long as it's not. As long as it doesn't do what Amorim does.
Yeah, they've got players to play for at the back anyway.
Honestly, Eddie Howe, he's on the list. I wouldn't mind it. And this is like when we talk about Maresca. I know that it probably wouldn't work with the board, and obviously Maresca's just been through what he's been at Chelsea, and we have the closest, I'd say, model to Chelsea in the Premier League out of any other Premier League team, I think, especially the big teams, like in terms of like head coach, input from elsewhere, sporting director, etc. But Maresca as a manager, I think he's a good manager, and I think we probably our squad's probably got a higher ceiling at the moment than Chelsea's.
Yeah.
In terms of like the peak of our players, better than the peak of the players that they've had so far, because all their players are like under 25s, yet to be kind of established or like kind of hit like 20 goal a seasons like our other players have. But Maresca it just wouldn't work because he clashed with the board immediately. But then again, it goes back to what we were saying at the beginning about it's almost there's no manager out there who's actually does what they're going to do, because no manager's going to go, I'll be the puppet.
Well,
I'll do what you say. No, they're going to have their own ideas.
Expression Zuzin, he managed in Baller League, Vision FC. Don't know, it didn't do too bad. I know he lost the game, but
Can you imagine excellent presser?
I mean, that'd be brilliant. That'd be brilliant. I was just thinking, him on the touchline for Man United. Wow, that'd be comical. But
go left, them way there, fam.
But yeah, them way there, fam. What are you doing, blood?
Mark him at edge of the area, bro.
No, it's interesting. I think Eddie Howe was a good shout. Again, there's been some good names. Like
watch out for Gareth Southgate. I reckon his name is going to...
He'll be thrown around, but I don't even know if he wants to come back to management.
But if he's offered the United job...
But didn't he say no? I swear he did an interview recently where he was like, I don't really want to do that.
Really?
Or maybe it was like a year or so ago. I remember at some point it came up being like he's not sure if he wants to do it.
I think he was saying that he wanted a rest from management to pursue some other stuff.
I just remember, all I got in my head is Rio Ferdinand saying if Mikel Arteta got offered the Man United job, he'd leave and take it. How funny. I can't believe he said that.
That was a mad statement.
That was a mad statement.
And it was never true.
But he went online and said that.
But Rio's a troll though, isn't he?
No, but he seemed like he is.
But Rio doesn't say anything he wouldn't actually try and back. He doesn't just say things for the sake of it. It's the kind of thing that I do sometimes, where I might say something a bit ridiculous, but it comes from.
No, you know why I say
actually
that?
think it to a certain extent.
You know why I say that with Rio though? He loves winding up Arsenal fans.
No, he does. But he will always try. He will always be able to try. Well, he always can back what he's saying. Then when he said that, I was just like, boy.
Yeah.
Relax.
We've got a couple super chats coming through. Ronnie Dodge says, I like Marcus, but we have Cunha now. Move on for me. I mean, fair enough. I mean, Marcus Rashford won't be coming back, I don't think. But I can dream because I love the guy. And then Brooklyn Domino, big up for the super chat, says, every prior sack I was hopeful about the next one. I'm numb this time. I don't have any expectations anymore. Just going to watch Mbumo Ahmad be ballers. See, this is the, you know, when I walked into the studio before and I had a beaming smile on my face and the rest of you were like, why are you smiling, Dylan? Yeah. It's because I'm in that phase at the moment. Like, our players come back from AFCON, and like, I haven't even mentioned Ahmad when I'm talking about like the players we have that are already good. But like, I just want, you know, for the rest of this season, get the players in a system that works well, like a 4-2-3-1, and Bumo can go up top, rotate with Šeško, just Bruno Fernandes back in the number 10 rather than doing number 6 shifts,
make a good point,
and it will just lift the mood.
What I found interesting today about today's reaction is that I get the impression that most United fans, if not all that I've seen, are happy that he's been relieved of his duties. I just think that the way it's happened, it's just embarrassing for the club.
Yeah,
So
the
it just
whole
makes the club
situation is
look
a
like-
mess
yeah.
for
But other
everyone
than that,
involved.
the end result of him leaving, they're more than happy with.
Yeah, it's
There-
I've
It's-
not
it's-
heard one
it's-
person
yeah.
that I've seen anyway.
It's come far
come
too
out
late.
and
It's
say
come
no.
far too late.
Yeah.
And it should have happened at the end. After we lost to Grimsby, it should have happened. He should have gone 100%. I've said this so many times. But it's gone now. He's gone now. At least he's gone now. But because of everything that's happened in the last 2 years, I am now worried about what's happening next. So I'm looking at Burnley. I'm looking at the Brighton game. I'm going.
You got Manchester
I should-
Derby coming up, bro. You got a
bro.
Manchester
We'll have a
Derby
movement
coming
back.
up.
We'll be fine.
I'll be
We'll be
honest.
fine.
That
Big shiny head.
I don't know. I keep saying this. I said this on. We did a video, me and Lauren LL Sports Bites. I don't know how he survived the Grimsby. I don't know if you.
Yeah,
there
neither
was
do
a-
I.
There was a super chat. I don't know if you, from Michael Brosu 1253. You might miss. He says, "I'm a Canadian Man U fan. My opinion is that the club is broken and rotten from top to bottom. Wilcox and the CEO need to be sacked as well."
Yeah, I mean, that's for the future. I'll see who they appoint and make my decision from there. But regardless, thank both of you for coming on. Thank you for coming on, Laurie.
We
Thank you
didn't
for
even
coming
get
on,
a
Cecil.
chance to talk about the champions elect, but it's okay. We'll save
We
that
can
for tomorrow.
because we're here live at 5 every single weekday. 5 p.m. I'm here. All different fans coming on. I think Abby might be back tomorrow, back in the studio for live at 5. Apart from that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.
Let's go. What do you do with yours? I do unlimited football content.
Well, I do unlimited bragging.
Well, I do unlimited swiping right.
Well, I do unlimited doom scrolling.
Well, I do unlimited sliding into the DMs.
Well, I do watching TikTok on the bus without headphones unlimited.
Oh, God.